What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So, um, during this election campaign, I've tried to be as fair as possible, meaning that I have smoke for both of them. And sometimes they don't appreciate it, the supporters of these candidates. But in particular, Trump supporters, I've noticed that they tend to be a lot more um, intolerant of criticism for their particular candidate. Now, there are some Trump supporters who are not as extreme and are not as religiously devoted to Trump. And I think they see him as simply the lesser of two evils. I understand that approach. I don't no longer agree with it, but I understand that approach. But there's one thing that about Trump that I don't like and I despise, other than his narcissism and his shallowness, is his apparent disregard for military veterans. Okay, I know people that served in the military. They willing to do something that the rest of us weren't able to do or didn't do, or some of us were too cowardly to do, which is to put their butt on the line for the security of this country. And I do believe that Donald Trump said something about the military years ago, according to his own chief of staff at the time, when reportedly he called them suckers. Um, Reportedly, he told a confidant years ago he didn't like to be photographed with maimed or wounded military men because it made him look bad. What a fucking narcissist. And then we all know that he said some stupid comment along the lines of, I only respect military men who don't get caught, which was the dig at John McCain, who screwed him with the no vote before he died, saving Obamacare. But Donald Trump said something at a press conference that he gave yesterday. Now, I will give him credit on this. Unlike Kamala, he is out there actually talking to the media off the cuff. And they're picking apart everything that he says. And that's why, for the most part, I hadn't been doing that. Because at the very least, he's been out there talking to the media. Now, the media is 85, 90% against him. So they're going to look for any little thing that he says that they don't like, and they're going to spin it and use it out of context to hurt him. That's what they do. But this particular time, he said something that I found very offensive. So, to just do the setup on this, Trump was talking about when he gave a woman named Miriam Adelson the Presidential Medal of Honor, which is the equivalency of the Congressional Medal of Honor for civilians, the highest civilian award possible. But then he said something about it being better that she got it because she's a beautiful woman, unlike, soldiers who get the Congressional Medal of Honor who are maimed or dead. So that makes it better that she got it. And if you don't think that he said it and you don't want to take my word for it, this is him saying it right here.
I have to say, Miriam, I watched Sheldon sitting so proud in the White House when we gave Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian. It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets or they're dead. She gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. It's very, and they're rated equal.
Now, look, I know what some people are going to say. Well, see, what he meant was, you don't know what the hell he meant. For what he said, well, it's better that this beautiful woman gets this award because it makes me feel better than some Maine soldier who I don't like to look at. It's not pleasant for me to look at you with half your face blown off. You give me a frown and you make me uncomfortable. You look like a cripple, if that word is even allowable in today's sissy society. But anyway, nah, he said what he said. And this is the problem I've always had with this guy is he doesn't seem like a real human being. He seems to me, I honestly look at Donald Trump as a sociopath. I think he's a sociopath. So when people hear the term sociopath, they think Hannibal Lecter. They think Mike Myers. They think of Freddy Krueger. I guess some of those are psychopaths, but they think of a violent, murderous individual. The vast overwhelming majority of sociopaths are not even violent people. They don't commit horrible crimes. What they are people who don't really have much of a conscience. Okay, they're willing to lie. They don't have much of a conscience. I'll put it like that. They don't feel guilty about things. Most of us, when we lie to someone, we might tell little white lies. Oh, ain't little Shaquilla a beautiful baby? And you go, yeah, she's something else. In your mind, like, this is an ugly fucking baby. But you can't say that because it's going to hurt their feelings. So you tell a little white lie, which is also, a play on something deeper. When there's something innocent is white, when there's something evil, there's devil cake. And, don't cross paths with a black cat. Let me go. I'm not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. But you know my point. This guy will lie. We saw the debate. He has no problems lying. The other day when I did a video about him saying that he was one of the biggest defenders of Hillary Clinton in 2016. Maybe that's how he remembers it. He's a liar. But he also has no conscience. And he's extremely superficial. I know this hasn't been publicized much by the media, but this is a man that allegedly beat his wife because the wife that he buried and gets a tax write-off because he buried her on his property in Mar-a-Lago on the golf course. But anyway, that wife, I think he beat her because he was so angry about a botched surgery he had to try to remove a bald spot on top of his head. And he was so enraged about it that he beat her allegedly. But anyway, that's another video for another day. This guy's not a really good person, I'm sorry. I'm not telling you who to vote for, who to not vote for, but he's just not a really good person. He's not. Now, is being a good person a prerequisite for being president? No, not necessarily. We've had some scoundrels be president. Andrew Johnson, who was a drunkard and the biggest racist ever to occupy the White House. Andrew Jackson was a possible serial killer when it came to Indians. This is a guy that when South Carolina threatened to secede from the Union in 1832, he said that he would hang every citizen of South Carolina who he thought was treacherous and wanted to leave the Union, which did lead to them hushing down on that, including John C. Calhoun, who would lead the charge on that. We've had some other horrible people be president. I know history used to love Woodrow Wilson, but I think he was a scoundrel. Lyndon Johnson was horrible. But he did some good things as president. So no, it's not a prerequisite. Jimmy Carter was probably one of the most decent people to be president, and he wasn't a good one. Sometimes you have to be bad or a horrible person to be president. But to some extent, you have to have a heart. You have to have some human emotion, and I don't think that he really has much human emotion. I think there's a disconnect with this man. But his supporters don't hold him accountable for that. And any other politician who would have said something like this, that would have been career suicide. But he gets away with it because he's always saying dumb things. So it's like, hey, that's Trump. How Family Guy goes, who else but Quagmire? You go, well, who else but Trump? It's Trumpy, Trumpy. You know it me, you'll never know what to get. It's Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Giggity, 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 giggity. Stormy, let's have sex. Unbelievable sex. Unbelievable. I lasted 7 hours. No priapism. No issues. Unbelievable performance. Best president ever. I'm the most presidential penis you've ever seen. Just protruding and protuberance on point. Unbelievable.